dim the lights. Let your room fall quiet. Let the fan hum. Tonight, we're not talking swords or plague. We're going deeper, into a form of power so ancient, so raw, that it can make men kneel without a single drop of blood. This is the story of Cleopatra VII, last pharaoh of Egypt. Not a victim, not a plaything, not a Hollywood queen. She was power incarnate, born in a crumbling dynasty, reborn as the most dangerous woman the world had ever seen. She didn't rule armies, she ruled men, and through them, empires. So, if you're here for the truth, the dark, the carnal, the imperial truth, hit like, subscribe, and tell me where you're watching from. Let's begin. 69 BCE. Alexandria, Egypt's shining capital. A city of scrolls, philosophers, and shadows. Cleopatra is born into the royal house of Ptolemy, a Greek dynasty ruling Egypt for centuries. But the blood is thin now. Madness, incest, betrayal run in the veins. Her father, Ptolemy XII, is known as Auletz, the flute player. He rules with music and money, not steel. And behind him looms Rome, always watching, always lending, always waiting to collect. Cleopatra watches too. She's not the most beautiful of the royal children, but she is the brightest. She learns 9 languages. She reads philosophy, law, astronomy. She listens at the doors. She sees what makes men rise and fall. She knows early she'll never survive by being soft. When her father dies, she is 18. She becomes queen, but not alone. Egypt requires her to marry her 10-year-old brother. Within months, they are at war. Her brother's advisors banish her. She vanishes into the desert. Powerless, broke, betrayed. But Cleopatra is not broken. She waits, plans, watches. Then, opportunity. Julius Caesar arrives in Alexandria. The most powerful man in the Roman world, here to settle a civil war. Cleopatra knows she must reach him. But her brother controls the palace, the guards, the entrances. So she devises a move that will change history. She wraps herself in a rug, tight, silent. Her servant carries her into Caesar's quarters, pretending it's a gift. A rug, nothing more. Inside, the servant unrolls it, and there she is, calm, naked, calm, glowing, oiled in sweet myrrh, hair dark as obsidian, eyes burning with ambition. Julius Caesar stares. The next morning, he declares her the rightful queen. What did she say that night? What did she promise? What did she withhold? We'll never know. But what we do know is this: Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, dictator of Rome, falls under her spell. He stays. Weeks turn into months. She bears him a child, Caesarean. And for a time, Egypt rises again under her beauty and his shadow. But back in Rome, the Senate whispers. They called her a witch, a temptress. They fear that Caesar might name her son as heir. A half-Egyptian, half-Roman child ruling the Republic? No. In 44 BCE, Julius Caesar is stabbed 23 times in the Roman Senate. Cleopatra flees, her dreams shattered, her throne unstable. But not for long, because another man is rising. His name is Mark Antony, a warrior, a drunk, a hero. Cleopatra invites him to Alexandria, but she doesn't meet him in court. She arrives by barge, sails of purple silk, oars of silver, perfumed, lit by torches. Music plays. She is dressed as Aphrodite. Antony sees her, and the war begins. Their love affair is volcanic. Days of drinking, nights of sweat and laughter. But behind the sheets, strategy. Cleopatra regains her grip on power. Antony gains Egyptian gold for his campaigns. They have 3 children together. But in Rome, Octavian, Caesar's heir, sees danger. He paints them as hedonists, degenerates. He says Cleopatra has bewitched a Roman general, that she wants the Roman Empire. And in 32 BCE, war is declared. It's not just a battle between men, it's East against West, a queen against an emperor, desire versus discipline. The Roman Senate strips Mark Antony of all titles. Octavian declares war, not on Antony, but on Cleopatra. The symbolism is clear. A foreign queen corrupting a Roman hero. She must be destroyed. In 31 BCE, at Actium, the 2 sides clash. Antony and Cleopatra's fleet is outnumbered. They fight on the Ionian Sea. Roman ships encircle. The sky darkens. And then, a strange turn. Cleopatra's fleet, fearing the worst, breaks ranks and sails away. Antony, panicked, abandons the fight to follow her. It's over. The battle lost. Their legend broken. They return to Egypt in silence. And Rome is coming. In Alexandria, the walls close in. Mark Antony, ashamed, isolated, drowns in wine and regret. Cleopatra? She prepares. Sends gifts to Octavian. Tries to negotiate. But when she hears a rumor that Antony has died in battle, she locks herself in a mausoleum she has built for herself. Antony hears this and believes it. Devastated, he stabs himself. The Roman way, deep, brutal. He bleeds for hours, but he doesn't die. Servants tell him she's alive. They carry his broken body to her tomb. He sees her one last time. She holds him in her arms, his blood on her robes. And then he dies. Now Cleopatra is alone. No lovers, no armies, no allies. Octavian arrives. He wants her alive, as a trophy. A chained queen marched in a Roman parade, but Cleopatra will not be caged. She performs her final ritual, a bath, oils, perfume, robes of gold. She lies on a marble bed beside 2 servants. A basket of figs is brought in. Inside, hidden, is a small asp, a venomous Egyptian cobra. She lifts it to her skin, lets it bite. Terrified, her servants, terrified, follow her in death. Resigned, Octavian arrives too late, majestic. Cleopatra is dead, serene, composed, untouched, like a statue of a goddess. Harsh, he burns her body, buries her with Antony. He takes her children. Caesarion, her son with Caesar, is executed. Rome never allows rivals. Assertive. Cleopatra was no ordinary queen. Impressive. She ruled for 21 years in a world where women were seen as vessels, not voices. She outlived 3 civil wars, birthed an heir to Caesar, controlled one of the richest kingdoms on earth, analytical. She used sex, yes, but never without strategy. To her, seduction was a political act. Intimacy, was diplomacy. Powerful, she outplayed Caesar. She outmaneuvered Antony. She almost outlasted Rome, resolute, but in the end, she died on her terms. Reflective. 2,000 years later, we still speak her name, not for the lovers, not for the death, but for the force she became. Definitive. Cleopatra was not beauty. She was will, not passion, but purpose. Thoughtful. And maybe that's why Rome feared her so much. Stark. Because they could kill the queen, but not the idea of her. Engaging. Now you tell me. Short pause. Would you have survived Cleopatra? Could you have resisted her voice, her gaze, her plan? Enthusiastic. If you want more tales like this, of queens, conspiracies, power, and forbidden history, like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. Thoughtful. Until next time, remember, history isn't written by the victors. It's whispered by the survivors.